when you were young?
Well, I think it was much different when I was a teenager in the early 80s. My best friend, who is still one of my best friends since 5 years old, I introduced him to his wife. I'm the godfather of his son. He actually, his parents were younger than my parents and very liberal. His father was a Chicago police officer in the district of where we lived. So many of the times that I would drink or do drugs, I would spend the night at his house because I could never come home intoxicated or high because my parents would never accept it. So that was the way that I hid my drug use and alcohol use when I was a teenager because I never wanted to disappoint my parents. My brother, who was my bullier, he was different. He was doing drugs and intoxicated and coming home, and my father was infuriated. So the times that I was home and seeing that, I knew that I never wanted to disappoint them.
You didn't want to bring more on them and show them that you were the same. Why do you think your family kind of fell apart, or at least the two of you? I don't know about the other three, but the two of you kind of, taking drugs and doing it. What makes a child do that if they come from such a... Is the family too strict? Is it too edgy? Is it no communications? There's got to be something going on there.
It was extremely strict. My father, bless his heart, he had a vision for all of his kids. He came here with his family, dirt poor from Italy, and his goal was to make a different life for his children. He was a tremendous father. My parents, where we grew up on the northwest side of Chicago, my father would say, your friends come here, you don't go there.
You wanted to know where you were, that's why.
Right.
I'm going to keep an eye on my kids. But then that's, that's tough for you because, you're growing up in trying to, you're trying to please them and you don't know what's going on with you. How do we rectify this with the kids now? What do we do? Do they come out now, or how do we do this? This bullying is terrible.
It's much different, and I can speak because I have a 15-year-old daughter. We need to do more. People like myself, too many men hide their abuse and the bullying they've dealt with, and I am a perfect example. I did it my entire life. I lived a life that pleased my family, but I was deeply depressed. You were talking about the two other suicides. Those happened at my adult life, which was just about 6 years ago when I came out. Oh. And I was actually instituted in Rush Hospital mental ward for 3 weeks. And my family knew about it, and they knew that it was due to an attempt of suicide. But my parents and my family wouldn't come to see me at the hospital because they were ashamed of what I tried to do.
And because also this time they also knew you were gay, right?
Correct.
And now, did your daughter know you were gay or while she was being brought up, or when did she find out?
Well, my first wife and I separated when my daughter was 1. I still wasn't out, although I remarried when my daughter was 5, and to my second wife, which only lasted 1.5 years. Part of the reason I did that is I had so much pressure from my family saying, you can't be a single dad. Lori, your first wife, is getting remarried. what are you going to do with your life? You know, this is the way my family addressed me.
So there you go again. So you did something again to appease them, to make them happy and not to make you happy. I was going to say, how did you find two wives if you're gay?